Self Management UK is a national charity. We've been around for over 10 years now, helping people with long-term conditions to help themselves. How do we do that? Well, we provide a range of programs for people with long-term conditions to give them the skills to manage their own conditions, and that's people with any long-term condition or people with specific long-term conditions such as arthritis or diabetes or heart disease and various others. Not only do we provide courses for people with long-term conditions, we also provide training programs for clinicians who are dealing with people with long-term conditions as well. So far, we've had about, it's actually in excess of 100,000 people who've gone through programs like ours. But we think there's a lot more people that could be helped by our programs, and that's what we're aiming to do. Well, it's really important because, believe it or not, there are over 15 million people in this country with one or more long-term health conditions, and that number is set to grow massively over the course of the next few years. So it's really important from that point of view. Also from the point of view that the National Health Service spends incredibly over 70% of its budget on dealing with people with long-term conditions. So giving people with long-term conditions the tools to take charge of their own condition can not only help them, but it can also potentially save the health service an awful lot of money. So that's really why it's important. It could be a win-win situation for everyone. Well, I think there are really three major challenges for us going forward. The first of them is the lack of funding that there is within the NHS to commission programs like ours. However, what we have developed recently is what we call a value proposition tool, which actually shows commissioners how we can actually help them to save money and achieve their financial targets. So that's a key challenge for us. I think the second one is making sure that patients are absolutely at the centre of everything that happens within the health service and the services that are offered to them. What we're doing on that front is we're currently building an online patient community, which has been very successful so far. We're also training patient ambassadors all over the country so that they can actually get involved in the local healthcare system and lobby for the sort of healthcare that they want. So that's the second key challenge for us. And the third one, I think, is just raising awareness generally of the value of self-management, not just for the individual, but for the wider system. Well, I'm passionate about self-management from a couple of perspectives, really. The first of which is from a professional perspective. My background is in management consulting, and I can see that the value that adopting self-management programs and commissioning more of them could actually deliver to the healthcare system. So that's the first thing. And the second thing is from a personal point of view. My self-management journey started a number of years ago. I was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes, which is an autoimmune condition, and over the years I've picked up several more. And what I've found is that going on self-management programs has really helped me personally in terms of being able to achieve all the things that I've wanted to achieve in my life. And what I'd like to do is to make sure that those opportunities are actually available to many more people in the same situation as me. What I'd like to see is people being offered the opportunity to go on self-management programs as soon as they're diagnosed with their long-term condition. We recently undertook a patient survey that showed, and it's really shocking actually, showed that nearly 50% of people with long-term conditions had to wait over 5 years to be offered that sort of help. And what we'd like to do, and I'd like to do personally, is to make sure that from day one people are offered the tools that can help them manage better and also help the healthcare system across the board as well.